What's up, everybody? I am R.L. Hardy, and you are watching another segment of Whiskey Tango Alpha Foxtrot. Oh boy, we got so much to cover and not a whole lot of time to cover it in, so I'm going to stick to the most time-sensitive issues right now. And right now, something I really want to discuss is not talked about enough these days, and honestly is the most relevant given, the everything that is going on. And I want to talk about our First Amendment rights. First Amendment rights are the very first of our Bill of Rights, basically the bedrock of everything this nation is founded upon. Putting aside, of course, the whole means how we came to have this country, but again, a lot of layers here. The First Amendment right can be split into 4 essential segments. The first of which is the freedom of and from religion. The whole reason why so many Europeans immigrated here to the land that was stolen from the natives to escape religious persecution. And this enshrines in us the right to practice whatever religion or no religion at all if we so choose, without any kind of mandate or without any kind of laws pertaining to those particular faith practices. It's the reason why we have the essential the essential barricades in place, like a separation of church and state, so we can't govern other people based on our own faiths because they may not share that same faith. It also keeps a lot of persecution and oppression out of our laws, but we see how much a job that's been done so far. But again, keeping our eye on the ball here. Second most essential part of our First Amendment rights is the freedom of speech. Now, this is probably the most misinterpreted right that we have enshrined in the Constitution, aside, of course, from the Second Amendment right, which I'll get to that one in a minute if I have time. God, that should really have a video on its own, and I mean a long video. But freedom of speech is often misinterpreted and misquoted as some variation of being able to say whatever we want, whenever we want, however we want, with no consequences. And that's actually not at all why that was written into law. What that actually means is that you can say, I could say, anybody in this country can say whatever we damn well please about our government, whether or not we like them, whether or not we agree with them, whether or not we say some very horrendous things. We could say all of that and not face any kind of legal repercussion like persecution or incarceration or, execution. We are protected from that. A lot of countries are not, but that is one of the most important things our founding fathers felt to enshrine, like at the top of the fucking list, is to be able to criticize our government and question our government without retribution, without retaliation. The kind of thing that a certain dictator-in-chief wants to start enacting for anyone that he deems a personal threat to himself, particularly his ego. Now, before I get too far off track, I'm going to go into the other remaining parts of the First Amendment, and the third of which is the freedom of the press. And that is, we have a right to know what goes on. We have a right to have reporters to go in and ask questions and document and bring us back the information so we can make informed decisions about the people we put in power to make specific decisions or pass certain laws, which honestly lately not a lot of them are doing a very good job at honoring. Again, I'll get into that in a bit. The fourth most essential part of our First Amendment rights is the freedom to assemble. Freedom to assembly, freedom to protest, freedom to petition, freedom to make active change in our own government, in our own country, because we are a government of the people, by the people, for the people. That means that our government officials, who we elect, work for us. And a lot of the people in those particular positions of power want us to forget that. They want us to be tired, to be overwhelmed, to be overstimulated, to not want to deal with it anymore so they can quietly strip away our human rights a piece at a time in the night. It took Hitler 57 days to dismantle every safeguard Germany's democracy had and turn it into his own personal autocracy. I mean, come on, once upon a time we all agreed that Hitler was the bad guy. The Nazis were the bad guys. The SS soldiers, Stalin, they were bad guys. Oh my God, why is this even a discussion? But right now, we have a wannabe dictator, our felon-in-chief, going by the playbook of the last bad guy of the last World War. He is keeping journalists, certain journalists that he doesn't like, that he knows are critical of him, that he knows may be objective. He is keeping them out of his conferences, out of his meetings. But he's inviting Russia headpieces, no problem. Not only that, but he's already talking about incarcerating people participating in illegal protests. What's an illegal protest? Protesting, the right to protest, that is in our First Amendment rights, which the whole reason why we have the Second Amendment rights is to defend our First Amendment rights. I need to go, yeah, I'm going to put the Second Amendment rights within a completely other video, because right now this is, you realize, the guy who was calling the president of a country who has been invaded, who we promised to help, and our president said, fuck you, on the world stage to this guy. He was calling that guy a dictator while signing his own truths, hail to the king. This guy wants to punish people who disagree with him. He wants to arrest legislators who go against any of his executive orders. He wants absolute and total power. This is not what we were built on. This is not what this country is about. And if you dare call yourself a patriot for still standing behind this guy, you don't know what a patriot is. My God, holy fuck, Jesus Christ, in a whorehouse. I can't believe we're having this discussion. I can't believe, wow, holy shit. I am not a politician. Okay, I never thought I had the capacity for politics, but it's gotten to the point where we cannot escape it in our lives right now. We cannot keep ignoring it until it blows up in our faces, because, you know, there's still people on the front lines, and they're holding the line, but I don't know for how much longer. All of us are doing whatever we can, but holy crap, world wars don't just go away. In America, we gotta wake up and realize that our leader has chosen the side of the baddies. And the only reason that they are to succeed is if we sit back and do nothing. This is our mess. Americans, right, left, or otherwise, this is our mess, and we have to clean it up. We have to do better. We have to stand up and come together and say, no, this is not what we are about. We take such pride in being the greatest country in the world, of being the good guys. Then let's get back to being the good guys. Let's start punching Nazis again. Let's start standing up against this shit. Because holy fuck, man. This is an embarrassment. We have become an embarrassment. Boy, have we got a lot to make up for.